Now, still much as football, Harambee Stars tactician McCarthy has named his squad to face Burundi and Ivory Coast in the final round of the final round of the World Cup 2026 that is set for the Americas. And in that squad is Gor Mahia's midfielder Austin Odhiambo, who is back to the fold, though the matches are inconsequential since Kenya is already out of contention for a place to America 2026. The games will help sharpen the team for upcoming assignments. Steve Shitera has the details in the following report.
Kenya will play 2 away games in October. First against the Swallows of Burundi on October 9th, and later against group leaders the Elephants of Ivory Coast on October 14th. Benin's squad largely remains unchanged from the one that lost 3-1 to the Scorpions of Gambia, with Bandari's custodian Farouk Shikalo, Brian Bwire and Brian Omondi maintaining their positions between the sticks. The defensive lineup feature Mansour Suleimanu Kwaro, Sylvester Wino, Alfonso Mija, Collins Sichenje, Michael Kibwage, Rooney Onyango, Abu Domar, Daniel Sakari and Vincent Hapa. Austin Odhiambo makes a comeback to the fold and is among the midfielders called up for the camp. Others are Alpha Onyango, Duke Abuya, Timothy Ouma and Ben Stanley.
And of course, we apologize for that technical hitch. We'll have that story back. But basically, is just an analysis of the Harambee Stars squad, what McCarthy named there. And the big development in that squad is Austin Odhiambo back to the fold. You saw the entire debate that had the country talking when he was dropped in the last call-ups and also in the last 2 matches of CHAN. I don't know, what are your thoughts on that squad picked by Benny?
I think I have three talking points on the same very quickly. About Austin, I don't even want to really make it a big deal because I only just want to congratulate Coach Benny for managing this matter about Austin Odhiambo very well. Because when things happened and Odhiambo was dropped towards the last matches of CHAN, Kenyans really demanded to know why. And Benny kept calm and told them that that is his business with the player. Even against Seychelles and Gambia in the World Cup qualifiers, the last window, he did not feature, and Benny still told people, don't ask me about him. Because there was a risk, if he told us all the details, maybe everything would have been destroyed. But after maybe talking to the player, I want to believe so, and maybe the player talking to the coach, now it's, you have gotten your suspension, quote unquote. Now welcome back to the team. You know it's a place that you are supposed to behave in a way or the other. We don't have the details, but I think the coach has handled this situation very well. One reminder is that, and I'm quoting Matthew Otamax, he said that there's a time that he was feeling was the best in the land, and the coach then, Raindan Fabe, showed him that no. There are other people who can be given opportunity and do well. So I don't want to get to the merits and demerits of why he had been dropped, because the coach never came out clearly. But if what we are hearing is anything to go by, then it's a reminder that people should always take this opportunity as a privilege, because a country of more than 50 million Kenyans, when you are given a slot, then it's a big privilege. That's number one. Number two is to say this. There are things that I'm liking about Benny that he's doing. May I speak to the front line, which has Olunga, Lawrence Okoth, and Ogam. When CHAN was happening, we had Masoud Juma, who soon retired after the tournament. And therefore, people started asking about the next question, who is filling the boot, into the boots. During the same tournament, we had Austin Odongo, who unfortunately was given his chance on a very difficult day against Madagascar. And we didn't see him showing up, you know. Now, Lawrence Okoth, who had played in the AFCON at 20, has been called for the first time after moving to Finland, and is being told, now show us what you have. You remember even during the past matches against Gambia and Seychelles, Osoro was called after moving to Gambia, and they have shown what they can show. So I think Benny is saying that I still have confidence with Olunga. Ogam has taken his chance, and now let me try this boy Lawrence and see what he can offer. That speaks about the future, because now with Ogam 20, Lawrence under 20, and Olunga at quite advanced stage, what he is telling us that
building a team for
the future. But before I conclude, let me also speak to the question of defense. You see, in the defense, we have seen the return of Daniel Sakari, the dropping of Lewis Bandi. And this is happening at a time that people like Joseph Stanley Okumu, people like Eric Machelo Ouma are not available because of injuries. It tells you about the cutthroat competition that is in that department. And so for the players who are available, the likes of Shichenje, the likes of Omija, Sylvester Owino, you know, they have to give their all, because players are being told, this slot you have been given, they are almost two other players in the very same position who are asking for the same.
Shitera, real quick, basically these are dead rubber fixtures, as you called it in the story. But look at it this way. The Stars are out of contention for the ticket to the Americas. But maybe good results in these two fixtures could up our standing in the FIFA rankings. What are your thoughts on that? And actually, we'll be having those graphics shortly on the FIFA rankings, more so in the East Africa.
I think Coach Benny is now understanding his players very well. Probably now he's making his own decisions in team selection. You can clearly see that because, as Cecilia said, he's trying his options, and whoever will make him happy probably will carry the team to the next level. And since these are matches that are inconsequential, I probably would have thought that he would have brought in more of the Lawrence or Courts of that type, so to speak. Akina Aldrin Kibet, try them. Akina Tyrone Karaoke, I don't know where they went, try them. Amos Wanjala. I think this is the opportunity, because we are not competing for anything. Whether we win or we lose, there is nothing that we are fighting for. So I've seen he's a coach that is really committed to ensuring that we are having a team that will represent Kenya in the future. And probably he has the advantage up front, because already he has already shown interest and that he is sticking with Ogam, who is not letting us down under any circumstance. In the midfield, he's a coach that has really built a team around Alpha Onyango in Chan, and probably he can build on it to secure our future. Bajaber is still out, but is another promising player up front, and probably Coach Benny is quite unfortunate that he will not be in AFCON 2025 in Morocco. He will not be in World Cup 2026 in the Americas, but we believe what he's doing now will be able to help us in 2027 AFCON, and probably World Cup 2030 we will make a maiden appearance.
I think Shitera loves
Wakili, we have those graphics on.
He's a good player. Bajaber is a good player.
But I want you to look into the future. I was going through the groups, basically the CAF qualifiers.
Yes.
Our group is as good as sealed with the Ivorians or the Elephants. If you look at the other group A, if I'm not wrong, the Pharaohs of Egypt are as good as having sealed that title. Morocco have actually had a 100% run, winning all their matches. Then the other group, South Africa and what's the other competition?
Nigeria.
Yeah, it's very, very close. But let's look into the future. This is not yet, it's as good as called in the other group, like Morocco have already qualified. For long, African teams have struggled to make an impression at the World Cup. Save for Ghana, a quarter-final slot in 2010, South Africa.
And
Morocco last time out in Qatar.
Senegal.
Cameroon in 1990, and Senegal in 2002. So we're just talking of 4 African teams who've reached at least the last 8. Now,
Nigeria 1998.
And now we are having a revamped World Cup. So many teams. Those big boys we've already counted. Do you think they have the gas and everything to go represent Africa well in next year's competition?
Flowing from Morocco's performance and the investment in football infrastructure and the technical capabilities, I'm optimistic. The other side, the northern side of Africa, even though sometimes the manner in which they thrash these East African teams leaves us with a bitter taste in our mouth, but we have an honor to, again, support them. The northern side is way much better. Also, the South African side, the South African team, they have also, in my view, they are giving it a good,
very good run.
Yeah, a very good run and competition against the West Africans. It's only, again, sorry to say this, it's only the East African side that we've really been sluggish. And
because of a number of factors, and those rankings we have on screen talk to that. Uganda is actually our highest ranked team at 82, as you can see. Tanzania now ahead of Kenya. There are 4 places ahead of Kenya. Rwanda 127, Burundi 141. And this really speaks to the aspect of even transfers. When a player is being quoted by a team from the top division, these FIFA rankings come to play. Remember the case of Mariga several years ago.
You've spoken about transfers. And, you know, long time ago I used to be a fan. Then I went to become almost a blogger, critiquing, throwing words around. But now when I came to administration, I understand some of these things. You may not reveal, but perhaps I will let you know one thing. The Lawrence boy who is in Finland, who has been called to the national team, we were on the verge of acquiring him. We were on the verge of acquiring
him. From Mofa?
Yes, but a better deal.
Verge.
Yes. Some of the big boys in Morocco, the Northern Africa, whenever they come knocking for a player in Kenya, and then you quote your side, your value, they easily trash it off. They say, if you don't want money, go away. We will not pick it up.
Zita, final word on this. Benny heading into face-off with Burundi and Ivory Coast. I know for now he's in Europe trying to scout Kenyan players, or rather foreign-based players who trace their roots to Kenya. The likes of Tylo Nyambo and the likes. That's what he's doing right now in Europe.
I think the first coach who understands what he wants, because the first coach who calls his final squad, instead of kuita 50 people, or kuje for a try and error, and then you
provisional squad.
Yes, provisional squad. 50 people, try and error, and then you take the squad back home, and then you call another final squad. Before you call another final squad, you start adding other players in the squad. So I think Benny understands what he's doing, and he understands what he wants. And again, this Chan that we had for the tournament that we had for Chan, it helped him understand more of the players he has and what position a player can play. And if this player is not there, who am I going to call to come and fix the position? So for me, I think because we don't have hopes of qualifying for the World Cup. But again, this is a good platform for him, as you've said, try and error. Try and see the squad that will go for the CHAN 2026 and then the AFCON 2027. So for that, kudos to him, and we are looking forward to play against the remaining matches for the World Cup qualifiers 2022.
Probably it's important to mention that this tie against Burundi, it's more of a Sekafa encounter, and we are hoping if we are out of AFCON and World Cup, then the Sekafa Senior Challenge Cup should be arranged quickly so that we settle our scores with the Tanzanians.
and Ugandans are good.
Because it's a very important thing, much as we are saying that these matches are almost dead rubber, remember they impact our FIFA ranking. That is important. So secondly, is to say this, drawing from what we saw against Gambia and Seychelles the other week, really after praising Benny, and we have done that justifiably so, we must realize that some of the European-based players who barely get play time in their teams, when we come to compare them with our local-based players, there must be fairness.
Yes.
Sometimes you see a player with good glimpses of top talent, the likes of Timothy Ouma Babu, you know, but you look at the minutes he has played over there in Europe, sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes 4 minutes. Comparing with players who have been playing 90 minutes for their clubs here, there needs to be fairness. And that actually impacted our loss to Gambia when we played here. So I think it's a question, and having played at a very top level, Benny should be knowing this, that sometimes you could be a very big club, but if you're not participating day in, day out, then you lack the sharpness.
Now, before we go to the quickfire with Lilian Odira,